Thanks, Matt. And thank you for taking the torch and leading us in the meeting today. So great having everybody together. It's hard to believe that the last time we were all together was only 2.5 months ago, back in Tampa at our Ascent event. So much has happened in the last 2.5 months. So I'm certainly bummed to not be at the meeting in person with you all today. But the more I was thinking about that, I couldn't help but acknowledge how awesome it is that we have a great team of impact players who step up when it's necessary and they fill in when someone is out. So it was pretty awesome, and couldn't help but think about our mission and all that we discussed at Ascent, because this is really that in action and us really reinforcing and amplifying that mission. So you're going to hear more detailed updates in a few minutes, but I really wanted to share a couple important items that have been at play in the background and are really progressing in our business. First, of course, I need to take time and acknowledge all the new team members that have joined since our last quarterly meeting. It's great having you here, and any of you who are experiencing a Cage quarterly meeting for the first time. It's so important, as you just heard with Matt sharing our objectives for this meeting, it is so important to us to share information and to be very open and transparent with what's going on in our business so we all feel connected and tied in. So it's great having you all. We do have a couple more first-time Cage quarterly meeting attendees, and that is Reese and Juliana Flanagan. Special welcome to them. They are with Flanagan Land Solutions out of Fort Worth, Texas, and we are very excited to continue conversations about our firms working very closely together and talking about a more formal partnership moving forward. So Matt Shoemaker, Dana Klein, Thomas Stroh, and I had the pleasure of meeting with Reese and Juliana in their Fort Worth office just a few weeks ago, and we were all very impressed. Not only was their office top notch, but their entire operation is quite impressive. So Reese and Juliana, thank you again for hosting us, and needless to say, after those meetings, we are more excited than ever to continue the conversations and work together. Thank you for dialing in today. Next, exciting update. So we've been working quite a while now behind the scenes on the expansion of our Illinois operation in the way of a Chicago office. And I am very pleased to say that we are officially signed up, signed lease, and the wheels are in motion for us to likely take possession and start putting our final touches on that office space over the next month, so we can likely start using that sometime in mid-August. More to come on that, and you're going to see some cool photos of that space here in a few minutes. Another item I'd like to highlight is progress on a few of our key national client relationships. Brad is going to be speaking a bit more about how we are elevating our partnership with Penske Trucking and Logistics, and how we have taken a relationship that started about 5 years ago with one project, and how we've increased that into much more, and how we are really working together with Penske to become their top consultant nationally. More to come from Brad on that in a few minutes. Also along those lines, we are in talks with representatives from Bell Tire and that account, and Matt will share a bit more about that. Exciting opportunities in the Midwest and ultimately in the Southeast and the East Coast. Also, shout out to John Nowak, who has connected the dots and got us a great first meeting with the Chick-fil-A team that is likely going to turn into at least an opportunity, if not multiple opportunities in the near future. So great work on that, John. Last but not least, I'm really excited to talk about our strategic plan and the implementation of our plan since our Ascent meeting just 2 months ago. I have to say how inspired I have been and how encouraged I have been to see an almost immediate reaction after we were all together in Tampa. It is so cool to see how our team emerged from that event empowered and excited to really put their fingerprint on the implementation, and to see the high level of communication that's happening, to see our initiative champions really galvanizing their groups and getting into a regular cadence of communication and meetings with their team. It's cool to see some of the data that's being collected and some of the ideas that are being shared. So fantastic to see that taking place. And also important, as we talk about that, it is really cool to see progress happening, but also acknowledge what we talked about at Ascent, in that this is really a long-term program. This is nothing that should overwhelm anybody in terms of having something done by next week or next month. This is about elevating all of us together, and about really, you've all heard me say this before, but it's about stacking days. And it's about putting those building blocks in place every day to make this a better place for all of us and to lead to greater success for all of us. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Matt. Enjoy the rest of the meeting. Sorry I wasn't with you in person today, but I'll talk to you all soon.